So I'd basically just like to start by saying a big thank you to you all, basically for taking the time out today to come and join us for today's event. And what we're going to do, today's event is going to be Discover Japan with Wendy Wu Tours, which I'm sure you've all heard of. Just a quick introduction for me. It actually says Louise on the little square. My name's Dawn. I'm actually based at the Bramhall branch. I'm standing in today for Lou. And if I'm not working at home, I can be found at the Bramhall shop. So that's just a little introduction to stop the confusion happening from there. So just in case you do see me. So Prestbury Travel and Wendy Wu Tours have been working in partnership for many, many years now. And they really are a fantastic company. They look after you every step of the way, which I think for something like a trip for Japan is something that you need, not so much handheld, but do you know what? You get the biggest insight and you'll get the proper Japan. And that's what going on one of those tours is all about. So it can sometimes feel quite daunting when you go on faraway destinations, but with Wendy Wu, you really are in safe hands and they take care of all aspects of your actual holiday. So you've got your free time, you can sit back, enjoy, and it makes those memories more memorable. So what I want to do is I'm going to introduce you to Sandra. I'm going to hand over to Sandra Foreman from Wendy Wu, and she's going to guide you through the delights of the land of the samurai. But before I do, if we can just have a few housekeeping rules. Everybody's muted, thank you very much. Any questions? If you can use the chat button at the bottom, and then what we're going to do, at the very end, we will have a look at the questions and we will acknowledge those questions with any relevant answers. So if that's okay with everybody, that's what we're going to do. And then without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Sandra. So sit back, relax and enjoy. And thank you again for taking the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and again, thank you to yourselves for joining this afternoon, and also to Prestbury Travel and Worldwide Resorts for this opportunity to talk to you about Japan, which is an amazing, enchanting country of Nippon, which means the origin of the sun, and that's better known to you or I as Japan. So over the next 30 probably to 40 minutes, I'm going to take you through a journey through Japan with me, and a little bit about Wendy Wu and what to expect on a tour, and some of the highlights of our most popular tours. So sit back, relax, and hopefully you'll enjoy. And as Dawn said, we'll answer any questions at the end of the presentation today, ladies and gentlemen. So first of all, we can't avoid coronavirus at the moment, and I just want to point out that your safety and well-being is a prime concern on our tours, and we have taken many steps now on our tours to ensure that you are safe, secure and satisfied when you travel with Wendy Wu Tours. And for more information on the steps we've taken, please get in touch with the team at Prestbury, who will take you through those steps we've taken with your safety in mind. Okay, so just a little bit about Wendy Wu before I get into the body of Japan and the presentation around Japan. So Wendy Wu Tours, if you haven't heard of us before, thank you again for joining us, and hopefully you will have heard of us because we are the #1 specialist out in Japan and China. We take more customers from the UK out to Japan on tours than any other company. So we are the market leaders. We are #1 tour operator in Asia. And rightly so, as Dawn pointed out, our tours are fully inclusive. So everything you see on the Wendy Wu tour, so from your meals, your flights, your guides, all of your experiences, and nobody includes more experiences on their tours than Wendy Wu Tours. So all of your entrance fees and all of those immersive experiences are all included in the price. So everything you see is all inclusive. And if you do need a visa, which if you're a UK passport holder, you don't need a visa for Japan, but if you're looking at any other destinations with Wendy Wu Tours and you require a visa, we do include the visa in the cost. and also we do support you in obtaining that visa. So with all of the form filling out, we've got a team in our London Bridge office who are actually at home, of course, at the moment, but they would take care of all of that for you. Now, we are award winning. We've won many awards, both direct from the travel industry, but also from publications such as the Sunday Times. We've just recently won 3 awards with the British Travel Awards. We've got 97% gold trusted rating on FIFO, and we are 5-star rating on TripAdvisor. So you can be really confident that the quality and standard of the tour on a Wendy Wu tour is exceptionally high. With over 20 years experience in touring in the UK, Wendy started the business out in China 26 years ago, and within 5 years we were leaders, market leaders in China. She brought that the business to the UK, and we've been operating out the UK for over 20 years. And we really do have the best tour guides. They're hand-picked. Wendy is a real person. She is active in our business today, and she's very involved with the recruitment and the standard of both the tours and the tour guides that actually look after you on the trip. So just to put out there the range of the brochures we cover, you can see in front of you. And today our presentation is going to cover the wonderful country of Japan. And our brochure to Japan also includes South Korea and Taiwan. So in the main, Asia and these areas of the world are starting to bounce back. We're seeing some of the internal tourism at a high, and we are really confident and hopeful that with the vaccine rollout that our customers will soon be back travelling. And ladies and gentlemen, you can start to hopefully plan ahead and start to enjoy the thoughts of going back to these wonderful destinations. So this is our Japan brochure, and we've got 13 fantastic tours to Japan with 2 new tours, which I'll touch on today as well. And they range from 8 days up to 21 days, and we are on sale now right up until November 2022. And we are seeing the demand for later in the year and into 2022, where we're seeing customers planning that far ahead. I'm going to touch on our solo departure. So if I have got anybody on the presentation today travelling solo, we have a brilliant proposition for solo travellers. And with all of our tours, if you want to do stopovers or extensions at the end of the tour, we do have an extensive range in our programme that we can actually do for you. So whilst the tour is set, we use all airlines, so you can travel via any hub and have a stopover, and also at the end of the tour you can add on your extensions onto that, or if you want free time at the end, you can also do that. So a little bit of interesting facts about Japan and about this fascinating land. So it is made up of over 6,000 islands. Now the 4 biggest islands you may have heard of being Honshu, Hokkaido, Kyushu and Shikoku. Now these 4 islands make up 97% of the land area. So there's a lot of islands, but there's 4 largest islands that are making up the largest area of Japan, and the population out there is over 126 million. It's got the world's 3rd largest economy, and in Japan they eat more seafood than anywhere else in the world. And I've got to say, ladies and gentlemen, the food is amazing. It's not just about the sushi. The full range of food out in this country is wonderful. And in Japan, they have the 3rd highest life expectancy in the world. And so on average, a man will live till he's 81 and a lady will live until she's 87. And it's the home of the 2 oldest people in the world. So the 2 oldest people are actually 116 and 117. So just some little fascinating few facts about Japan for you. Now, a lot of people ask me, when is the best time to travel to Japan? And I've got to say, it really is an all year round destination, but the really popular time of year is, of course, that beautiful time of year when the cherry blossom comes to life all through the country, and that happens at the end of March and the beginning of April. So the cherry blossom season is particularly popular for the beauty of the country throughout. Now, being very popular and customers couldn't travel in 2020 during cherry blossom, we've seen a lot of customers change to 2021, and you know, it's still possible that 2021 won't happen for cherry blossom, so you can again see customers are moving to 2022 so they can experience that wonderful cherry blossom season. So if that is the time of year that you would like to go, I would strongly encourage you to be planning ahead to 2022 now, because our customers are doing that. But as I said, it is an all year round destination, because in May time you've got the Shibazakura festival, where the pink moss phlox is planted around the base of Mount Fuji, and it's also a very beautiful time of year to go. We have a lot of customers that don't want they want to avoid crowds in cherry blossom, and autumn is also very beautiful, and it's not so busy, but you have all them beautiful autumnal colours which you can see on the screen, and it is very beautiful time of year for the country as well. And then in September we've got the sumo wrestling happens out in Japan, and again customers like to go out for the sumo wrestling and the festivals. And then of course in the winter, right up in the northern islands in Japan, we have that in Sapporo we have the wonderful ice and snow festivals. So for different reasons customers do travel all times of year to Japan. It just really depends what it is that you want to go and see, and what it is you're looking for on your tour. But we do travel out there all year round. Now, our very most popular tour is the tour you can see in front of you, and this is our Japan Uncovered tour. And when we first put this out a few years ago, we only had a few departures. We just wanted to see how popular it was, if there was going to be a demand for it. And we ended up selling out 25 dates in the first year we covered Japan. And now it's become so popular, we've added on additional tour dates, additional tours. But this tour is really popular because it's extensive, and it covers all the classical sites. It covers the key cultural activities. It features the modern cities, the history. You'll get a lot of the history and see the historical sites, the beautiful landscapes. So this tour really, ladies and gentlemen, does make sure you get the most out of this fascinating land, and you'll get the opportunity to experience this in the company of our expert guides. And the guides really do make a big difference on our tours, because they'll bring the history, the culture of this incredible destination to life and share all of that knowledge with you. Our group sizes aren't too big, so the maximum group size is 28 on our tour, so you've got that real interactive experience with the guides, and they really are there for you, ladies and gentlemen, throughout the whole tour. You will get free time, and again, if you want more time built in where you may not want to take a meal in the evening with the guide, then there's options to do that, but the guides are there for you throughout. They're all fluent in English, they're very charismatic, and a lot of our customers today keep in touch with the guides. They really do make a difference. And as I say, with this, you'll get that full experience, a very comprehensive touring programme. So let me take you through just a step-by-step tour of what you would expect to see on this tour. And then I'll come on and cover some of the other options of tours and touch on our new tours with you. So I hope that sounds okay for you. And the tour will start with a visit to the Osaka Castle. And this is one of Japan's most famous castles, which is known for its sweeping views of the city from the hilltop perch that it sat on. It was constructed, the construction began in the 1500s by the emperor then, and he intended the castle to become the centre of the new unified Japan under his rule. And in addition, the iconic symbol of Osaka, which is in the Kansai region of central Japan, played a really important role in the unification of Japan, which was in the samurai era of the 16th century. Now, Osaka is a great base as well to do day trips from, and we actually go on to Nara from here. And also in Osaka, you'll have the opportunity to experience some of the wonderful food in Japan, and you'll experience the famous okonomiyaki, which is a giant savoury pancake, and also a wonderful area for the classic street food here, and things such as takoyaki, which is their giant savoury pancakes, which are cooked in special moulds, and these are typically filled with things like diced octopus, pickled ginger, spring onions. So a wonderful experience of the foodries and the street food you'll get in this area. And as I say, it's a great place for a day trip, and on this tour we head to Nara to stroll through the famous deer park. And the deers were thought of as sacred animals and have been carefully protected for many years in Japan. And even today in Nara, the deers are carefully protected as a natural monument, and they actually are considered to be a sacred messenger for the gods up until the 16th century. And the deers will come very close to you, they'll bow in front of you, they'll actually give you a little nudge for some treats as well, so you'll get very close to the deers. And after a good night's sleep then, we'll move on to visit the incredible and the most spectacular Himeji Castle, and you'll visit this en route to Hiroshima. Now, this castle is widely considered Japan's most magnificent castle for its imposing size and its beauty, and it's well-preserved Himeji Castle, and it's both a national and World Heritage listed treasure. And interestingly, Himeji Castle has never been destroyed by war, earthquake or fire, and survives to this day as one of the country's 12th original castles. And from the picture in front of you, you can see it's been nicknamed the White Heron Castle because it has a resemblance of the white heron bird. And it's also the only castle in Japan never to experience any conflict or attack. And then on our journey, we'll then head onwards to Hiroshima, which today is a modern city, but of course it was largely destroyed in history in the World War II on the 6th of August when the atomic bomb was dropped on the city, and very sadly it destructed everything within a 2-kilometre radius when the American bomb was dubbed Enola Gay was dropped on the city. And it is the first time a nuclear weapon has been deployed in warfare, and sadly it immediately killed over 80,000 people. And again, lots more people died because of radiation exposure in the area after. But the city has been rebuilt, and it's created a real melting pot, and it's now extremely cosmopolitan today. And we'll visit the historical heritage sites here, and what you can see in front of you is the only building that has remained, and this is the A-Dome. And we'll also visit the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park to commemorate the events of 1945. Now, close to Hiroshima, we'll also visit Miyajima. And this is a small island with one of Japan's most iconic sites where you'll actually visit the shrines. So Miyajima actually means Shrine Island, and it's well known for its main attraction, which is the shrine, the Itsuka Shima Shrine, and the giant torii gates here. And the giant torii gates seem to float on the water at high tide, and the torii gates are actually the spiritual entrance gates to the Japan Shinto Shrine, which marks the official boundary between the human and the spiritual worlds. So the shrine is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it is one of the national treasures by the Japanese government. Now, it wouldn't be, you wouldn't have travelled in Japan unless you experienced these amazing bullet trains. And our journey from Hiroshima Station will take us to Kyoto, and we'll travel by bullet train. Now, it'll take about 1 hour 40, And these trains operate currently in a maximum speed of 200 miles an hour. But in future, up to 2030, we'll see the brand new trains out in Japan where tests have run on the maglev trains of 375 miles an hour. So they're in incredibly speedy, fast journey to your next destination. They're impeccable in cleanliness, as is all of Japan, and they run to absolute precision at the time. And the Japanese officials actually made a worldwide apology because one of their trains departed 36 seconds early. Could you imagine that, ladies and gentlemen? So it's a great experience to travel on the bullet trains. You don't take any luggage on board, you'll just step on with your bag, your carry-on, and on your Wendy tour, we'll transport your luggage by minivan onto your next destination, which is Kyoto. And again, on our tour, we'll make every transition as comfortable and as fluent and easy as possible for you. And then we'll disembark that bullet train and we'll arrive into the capital, which has been for 1,000 years the emperor's residence from 794 to 1868. And this really is an enchanting city, Kyoto. It's traditional Japan. It's in a nutshell what Japan is about. In this city, you'll get the real culture, you'll get the history, the real heart of the country. And it's one of the best places that you'll experience the traditional temples, the shrines, the beautiful gardens. In the Gion area, you'll see the geisha girls wandering in the streets, and there is around 100 geishas in Kyoto. Now, there used to be, in the country now, there's only around 1,000 geishas left now, because many years ago, there used to be over 80,000. But this is one of the great areas that you'll see the geishas wandering the streets as you can visit the wonderful restaurants, the shops here are wonderful as well. So this is a fantastic area. You'll also visit the spectacular Kiyomizu Temple, where this is the most visited temple in Kyoto, and it was built to honour Kannon, which is the goddess of mercy. And it's on a beautiful hilltop location where you'll have spectacular views over the city. Now, on all of our Japan tours, you'll have wonderful experiences included. We do a tea ceremony on every one of our Japan tours, but on different tours, depending again on the time of year, you'll have different experiences, but you will enjoy the age-old ritual of the traditional tea ceremony, accompanied by a tea master on all of our tours. Now, it's not like our Tetley RPG tips, ladies and gentlemen. This ceremony is very cultural. It's known as the Way of Tea, and it's a Japanese cultural activity involving the ceremonial preparation and presentation of matcha, the powdered green tea. And as I say, you'll enjoy that experience and get involved. And then we'll travel onward to visit the Fushinari shrine with its 1,000 orange torii gates. And this shrine stretches all the way up Mount Inari. And the shrine, it was built to worship the god of rice. But in time, this has been translated to the god of business. And each individual torii gate, and you can see in front of you the Japanese writing on the gates, and every gate is donated by a local business. And then from here, we'll go on and experience the most captivating and spectacular Kinkakuji Temple. And this is a great, again, architectural design of the temples out in Japan. And this is more commonly known, ladies and gentlemen, as the Golden Pavilion. And I'm sure you can guess why, but when you look at the screen in front of you, these top 2 floors of this temple are actually completely covered in gold leaf. It's really quite beautiful. This is a Buddhist temple, and as I say, it's an example of the excellent Japanese garden design. And the temple was built as a retirement villa for the shogun, and according to his will, it was to become a Zen temple after his death in 1408. And the gardens around here are very beautiful as well. And as we leave Kyoto, we'll then travel on to Kanazawa, and here you'll have time to meander through one of the 3 great gardens of Japan, and the garden designs are absolutely stunning as well. They're very spacious grounds, and these are the outer gardens of the Kanazawa Castle, and they opened to the public in 1871. And it features a variety of flowering trees, which provide the gardens with a different look for each passing season. So again, it depend on the time of year you go and the seasonal changes. This is a wonderful garden area to experience in this area. And if you love your gardens, and we've all spent a lot longer at home, certainly over the last year, probably all doing a little bit gardening. So I'm going to share with you the 6 aspects considered important in the notion of ideal gardening. I wonder if you can guess. So there's spaciousness, serenity, venerability, scenic view, subtle design and coolness. So for anybody who loves the gardens, this area of Kanazawa is a wonderful area, and also it's compared a lot to Kyoto, but Kanazawa is significantly smaller than the ancient capital, and it is renowned for its impeccable geisha and samurai districts, and you'll get to learn about the samurai traditions in this area of Japan. And then we'll go on to Takayama, where we'll visit again. This is one of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites, known for its architectural style, and the architectural style is known as gasho. And this gasho means constructed, like hands in prayer. As these farmhouses, their steeped thatched roof resembles the hands of a Buddhist monk pressed together in prayer. And the architectural style was developed many generations ago, and the design was developed to withstand the large amounts of heavy snow that falls in this region during the winter. And the roofs are made without nails, and they provide an attic space used for cultivating silkworms. And in Takayama, it's one of the most atmospheric townscapes and nestled deep within the Hida Mountains, and it's a wonderful destination to witness the older and the ancient side of Japan. Now, one of my sort of favourites to see is these Japanese macaques, known as they are the snow monkeys, and these are outside Yudanaka. And you'll visit these in the onsens, in the steam and the boiling water and bubbles, and they'll be going about the way of life as normal. So you'll see them in their own habitat, and it's really interesting. And these creatures to watch in their sort of normal outside world and habitat. They're brilliant as they go about, as I say, their daily business, really interesting. And there are none other non-human primates that live in a more northern, nor live in a colder climate than these Japanese macaques. So they're wonderful to get up close and see. And what I would say, ladies and gentlemen, some of the slides I'm showing you today are actually taken just off an iPhone. Some of the memories and experiences and pictures you'll take on these tours are fantastic. Our guides will make sure you're in the best places at the best time of day to actually see and witness and experience the activities that you will be involved and the destinations that we take you to. And then from there, we will experience so much on this tour, but we'll always have some time for relaxation. And in Japan, you really must go and experience those wonderful onsen bath experiences. So this one's in Yudanaka, but they're throughout the country of Japan, where you can enjoy some bathing in the hot springs. And again, on a Wendy tour, we'll give you a lot of information before you travel. You'll get your full tour dossier. And things you would need to know. So there's a traditional age-old with the organised gangs, the Yakuza gangs in this area, that if you've got tattoos, ladies and gentlemen, you're not allowed into the Japanese onsens. So all of this detailed information you would know before you go onto your tour. And then no tour would be complete without that amazing sight to see Mount Fuji. And it is really one of the iconic sights of Japan. It's the highest of the Japanese mountains, and it is a real symbol of the country. And we'll actually take you up to the 5th station, and you will be rewarded by the most fantastic views of this area. It really is something that you'll not forget on this incredible journey. And we'll also then take you to visit the Fuji 5 Lakes in the Hakone district, and formed by the previous Mount Fuji eruptions. The Fuji 5 lakes in this region are at the base of Mount Fuji, made up of the 5 beautiful lakes, and you'll take a cruise along Lake Ashi, and you'll have the opportunity to go up in that cable car and have again some more spectacular views of Mount Fuji. And then it's time to travel to one of the world's most cutting-edge capitals. So Tokyo is a city of contrast, and it's famous for its neon-lit landscapes. It's got the towering skyscrapers. It's also got the peaceful shrines and the lovingly tended gardens. But Tokyo is just a city of absolute madness and a fast-paced city. You'll get the modern and the ancient. Now, this is something a little bit different. This is the Shibuya crossing, and thousands, and it's really hard to bring it to life. It's so fast-paced, where you've got thousands of people crossing here every hour, and up to 2,000 people cross at a time during the rush hour. It's home. This is home to one of the largest Starbucks, so great to sit and people watch. And as I say, you can also behind in the back streets, you've got the high tech and plenty of tranquil areas where you can explore the temples. So as I say, it's like the modern and the ancient. And a fascinating fact about Japan, they've got one vending machine for every 23 people, and you really can buy everything in a vending machine. It's unbelievable. You can buy your shirt, you can buy your cooked chicken. It even appears you could purchase a smart car. Whilst you can't, you get the brochure. It does appear that you can, and if you're lined up, all of the vending machines, they'll actually stretch from Tokyo to Hawaii. So it is fascinating. And whilst you're in Tokyo, we'll also take a stroll to the vibrant Asakura district and soak up the ambience of Sensoji. And this is Tokyo's oldest temple. And Sensoji is the only example of 2 religions sharing the same temple complex. So you've got the Buddhist temple on the right of the picture, and then the Shinto shrine on the left. And then we'll also continue and have amazing views of the city from the tallest structure in Japan, and this is the tallest tower in the world, and you can go up this tower, and on a clear day you can actually see Mount Fuji. So it's some amazing views. And that gives you just an overview of some of the sites and some of the great sites you'll see on that Japan Uncovered tour. Now, we've also just launched 2 brand new tours, and I'm going to just touch on both of these tours. So we've got an 11-day and a 21-day. So a little bit of a contrast. The 11-day really is for those people who haven't got long enough to do a 17-day tour. They're not able to take, that sort of time out of the diary to travel for that long. But for those who really want to see the main sites of Japan, so that 11-day tour, I'll just cover off slightly for you. And then for those of you who really want to have a whopper of a tour, we've got the 21-day tour of Japan, and I'll cover some highlights of that tour for you. So the 11-day tour, you'll see most of those main sites that you'll see on the Japan Uncovered. It's just at a quicker pace, the tour, but you'll visit Osaka, Kyoto, you'll see the snow monkeys, Mount Fuji, Kamakura. We have lots of experiences in this tour as well for you. So lots of the wonderful Japanese cultures and things that you'll love. And as I say, it's just at a shorter time, this tour. You'll visit Osaka Castle, you'll explore Matsumoto Castle, which is the 16th century castle. So as I say, it's the shorter tour if that would suit you more. And this is some of our customers' experience and some of the wonderful immersive cultures and experience that we'll have on the tours for you. And just to share some of those with you, on our Offbeat Japan, one of our tours, you can join the monks for their daily chanting in the monastery. You'll enjoy on our Japan Uncovered and our Discover Japan tour that age-old tradition of making the washi Japanese paper. We also, on the Jewels of Japan, you'll be involved with the chefs and enjoy learning how to make the soba noodle, where you'll craft, roll and slice the soba noodles, and then you'll enjoy cooking them. Well, hopefully you will, and enjoy the experience of devouring and eating them. And also, depending on the time of year, we've got things like the Sumo Wrestling Festival, and that's again included in the price on your Japan Uncovered and Offbeat Japan at certain times of year. Now, the sumo wrestling out in Japan, ladies and gentlemen, is compared to what we have in the UK, like the Wimbledon tennis. You know, it is so grand. So these sort of excursions and experiences you'll have on a Wendy Wu tour are absolutely fantastic. So again, depending on which tour, you can look at what experiences are included. We have the Zen meditation, which again you can enjoy on our Offbeat Japan tour. So that's our Japan by rail. So this tour, as I say, is a new tour we've put out there for those customers who really want to do an extensive area of Japan. You'll go right from Kyushu to Sapporo, and it covers over 2,000 kilometres. With this tour, you've got 10 train journeys. 5 of those are the bullet train, and you'll really have so many experiences. So the tea ceremony, origami, you'll be involved in that fan painting, which again is a tradition in Japan, the wooden sake cup making, and you can bring that home as a souvenir. You'll involved with the master chefs making sushi, visit the wasabi farms, and you'll enjoy the sake tasting, whiskey tasting, beer tasting. There's so much to enjoy, and this tour covers the 3 main islands. So in addition to the sites that I've covered on the Japan Uncovered, you'll have further highlights on this tour, where you'll visit Fuka, the capital of Kyushu. You'll actually take the bullet train to Sendai and visit the temples and have the Nikkei whiskey tour. You'll take the bullet train to Hakodate, and you'll visit there in the evening. You'll do the Hakodate ropeway. We go right to the north in Sapporo on the bullet train, and again you'll have some great experiences in those. So lots more packed into that 21-day tour if you're looking for something a little bit more extensive. Now, I'm just going to touch on a couple more of our tours just to show you a couple of different things you could visit in Japan as well. So we've got our 13-day tour, and this particular tour uncovers the beauty of the lesser known island of Kyushu, and it's renowned here for its active volcanoes, hot springs, really stunning beaches. But with this tour, whilst you have all of that lesser known beauty you'll discover, you will also still explore the main sites of Hiroshima, Kyoto, Tokyo, on that largest island out in Japan, Honshu. So as I say, you'll visit Fukuoka, which sits on the northern shore of Japan's Kyushu Island. And this is the island's largest city, so it's known for its temples, its beaches, its modern shopping. I mean, the shopping out here is also fantastic. And this is actually closer to Seoul in South Korea than it actually is to Tokyo, which means it's been an important harbour city for many centuries. You'll also visit Kumamoto in the city on the Kyushu's west coast, and here you'll visit the famous castle. And again, the castle's considered one of the 3 premier castles in Japan. So again, just some highlights on that tour. And we'll also visit the active volcano at the centre of the Kyushu Island, which again is a great area to go to. And it's got lots of active peaks. We'll also visit Beppu in one of Japan's most famous hot spring resorts, and the hot springs are wonderful. And you'll experience the Hells of Beppu, which is several spectacular hot springs, but they're just for viewing as opposed to bathing, but lots of hot springs that you can bathe in. And then one of our tours, the Journey Through Japan. If you did watch the Joanna Lumley that was aired on TV, this tour that Joanna Lumley did, Our Journeys of Japan, is quite similar to where she covered. So it's a 14-day tour, and it takes in the must sites of the island of Honshu. You'll take a day trip to Nikko, and this tour has got real varying landscapes as it journeys from the south of Hokkaido and covering the charming cities of Sapporo and Hakodate. So as I say, visit Sapporo and Otoro. So Sapporo being the capital of Hakodate, and it's Japan's northernmost island, and it's become quite famous with the Winter Olympics, which were there. But this is spectacular for the festivals, the ice and snow festivals, which are held in February. And they are quite spectacular, ladies and gentlemen. And then Otoro is a small harbour city northwest of Sapporo, and again that's beautifully preserved canals, which gives the city a distinctive character of reminiscence of past decades. Like I say, we'll take a walk through the volcanic crater of the Hells Valley, and you'll see the steam jets and the hot springs before you hop on the train to the harbour city of Hakodate, where you'll visit the famous forts in that area. And very lastly, you can also, if you want to do the two amazing countries in one, we actually do have a tour that combines China and Japan. And that's really a once-in-a-lifetime 20-day tour combining the very best of the 2 ancient nations. This incredible journey is from Beijing to Tokyo, and you'll travel by road, by boat, by rail, by air. It's quite an epic 3-week journey. So I hope you've enjoyed going through some of those tours with me today. And I'm just going to, lastly, a few slides to show you, ladies and gentlemen. Just want to point out the differences from our, on some of our tours. So our classic tours in the main are the majority of our tour styles, and the physical rating is quite low on those classic tours. So you don't need to be majorly active and fit to do those tours, and that's our classic tour. They mostly have a fitness rating of 1 or 2, which is a low rating. Some of our tours are go beyond. Now, if you do want more to get off the beaten track and go on the more extraordinary areas and places that are rarely witnessed by tourists, the go beyond tours would be something that would suit you more. We also do group tours, so if you are part of a group and you want to bespoke a tour to your group, we can do that for you and put your group tour together. And also, if you are a single traveller, we do have dedicated departures just for solo travellers, and we've got some benefits just for those solo departures where you don't share, it's no room share on those, but we don't have a single supplement. And at the moment, with our January campaign, actually 50 of our most popular tours have single departures with no supplement. And we have got a solo community where we've got an online community. You'll meet everybody in the airport lounge, which is included. We include your free private transfers. And again, our guides are there with you to take you through this journey and have that very best experience. I've mentioned our guides, they are fantastic, and we do get people call up and say, I was on a tour last year and Daisy was guiding the tour. Can you tell me what tour she's doing next year, because we want her to be our tour guide again. So we have amazing feedback from our guides. From our customers about our guides. So we are very confident you're in fantastic hands on a Wendy Wu tour. I'm just going to share with you, currently, as I say, a lot of customers planning ahead, and we've got flexible booking conditions. So these are available to Prestbury Travel, where you can actually book with the experts at Prestbury Travel and just pay a £99 deposit. So if you do want to lock in your tour up to November 2022, you can do that currently and just put £99 down. And at the moment, we've actually got one of our best promotions where we've got 30 of our most popular tours, and you'll actually get free flights. So it is a really fantastic time to actually reserve your holiday for future seasons. And I don't know if you were listening to Simon Calder yesterday, but again, he was saying it is a good time to plan ahead, because, you know, on our tours, it is limited spaces, and certain times of the year are incredibly popular. So we are available, and the guys at Prestbury Travel, if you want help with that. I've touched on our solos, and again, if you want to have free upgrades to World Traveller Plus, we currently have that on Japan and India. And very lastly, to thank you all for joining Prestbury Travel on this webinar today. They are actually extending an additional £100 per person saving until the end of January. So there is so many great offers for you, ladies and gentlemen, if this is something that's on your wish list and that you would like to do in the future. So I hope you've enjoyed that. That brings me to the end of the presentation. So, you know, I really hope you all stay safe, and we're soon seeing, you know, that our world opens up and we're safe to travel again. And I'm really happy to take any questions.
I think there was one in the chat room from a Mr. Addison.
Okay.
I think he was asking what accommodation and catering is provided.
Yeah, okay, so our accommodation in the main, all of the hotels are generally around a 4-star. And with regards to the catering, and I'm pleased you've asked this because I really should have pointed this out to you. On a Wendy Wu tour, you will enjoy in the morning those Western buffet breakfasts in your hotel, but we really do visit some of the best restaurants. You're not eating in the hotels every evening. We actually handpick the cuisine, the restaurants where you'll enjoy some of the best cuisine, and that's with our guides' knowledge. We make sure that you're really involved in that experience, and the food is a big part of the trips as well. So you'll enjoy the wonderful restaurant experience on a Wendy Wu tour as well. All of the meals are included. So when we say fully inclusive, everything is included, all of your meals on a classic tour. On the Go Beyond, there's a little bit more flexible time built in, so not all of your meals will be included in a Go Beyond, but again, we'll provide you with that tour dossier, which will tell you everything that's included. But in the main, we're 4-star accommodation, and in a classic tour, all of your meals are included. So I hope that's answered that. If not, let me know. Any other questions?
Yeah, I think there's a few more coming through. Do you have to stick with the guide when visiting sites?
Yeah, you would, and it would be in your interest too. So if I can give you an example of this, if so we are market leaders in China as well. So when you go to the Great Wall of China, you can go to parts of the Great Wall, and it's certain times a day, it's absolutely packed. You know, all the buses are arriving, the school children, and you know, our guides don't take you to that area. We'll take you to a spot at the right time of day where you're going to get the very best experience. The whole point of being with a guide and on a guided tour is that you get the very best experience on that tour. And we don't want, you know, I've seen tours where the group size has been too big. We've got people at the back of the group saying, I can't hear the guide, you know, there's no point coming here because I can't see what we're meant to be looking at. That's not going to happen on a Wendy Woo tour. The experience you will have is like a local. We'll take you to the right place at the right time. You'll see the places in the best way you can. And the guides are fantastic. It's showing you where to get your best photograph, where to stand to see it the best. And, you know, we've got a picture on the Great Wall. So the pictures you'll see of people on the Great Wall, they'll be on it on their own. But the reality is when you get to these big iconic sites, they're absolutely packed with people. But I'll assure you, when you go on a Wendy Woo tour, we'll take you to the best place at the best time to get the best experience. So you are with your guide. There is time on the tour where you will have a little bit free time, but it is a fully escorted tour. You know, if one evening, you know, you wanted to do your own thing, you absolutely can. But again, the point of doing a tour is to get the best experience with our guides and you know, benefit from everything we include on that tour.
Okay, there is, do you do tours which begin and end in Tokyo for those who are already there?
Yes, we can, yes, and we can do also private tours for you. So we can bespoke your tour, and we can do land only for you as well, yes.
And the last one, is it possible to bespoke an individual tour with Wendy Woo?
Yes, the answer to that is absolutely yes. I mean, you know, these classic tours I've shown you, you can do these as a private tour where you have your own guide, or you can also tailor make. So, you know, if this tour, I mean, these tours are put together because you are covering the iconic sites, but if you wanted a bespoke tour, you know, and build in free time or, you know, add-on extensions, we can do that. These tours I've presented to you today are group tours, so these are set, but as I said earlier, you can do stopovers and extensions to suit what you want. But if this tour wasn't what you wanted and you couldn't find in our programme what you wanted, please get in touch with the team at Prestbury, and they'll work with our tailor-made department to put the tour together for you.
Okay. There's no more questions coming through unless anybody has any additional questions before we go. Oh, where do you pick the tour up from, and is it included in the cost of the holiday?
All right, I'm not understanding that question. So your tour, well, let me try and answer that. So your tour will start from, if you're including flights from the UK, our tour guides will meet you at destination. So they'll meet you when you arrive into the country, and then they're with you all the way through, and they'll leave you at the airport on your return. Does that answer that?
I hope so. It was for a lady, Mrs. Evans, so I'm hoping that has answered her question. There's no more questions that's come through unless anybody has any additional questions. There's nothing coming through. Nope. Okay, I think as far as I'm concerned, on behalf of Prestbury Travel, I would just like to say again a huge thank you to everybody who has taken time out to attend the presentation today. I do hope you've enjoyed it. I know for me it was a massive insight into how Japan is, looks, and everything like that. I think with all the offers that are on at the moment, it would be an advantage to yourselves to book early rather than later. We are finding people booking earlier so they don't miss these offers, so I think it would be an advantage to yourselves. The shops are open, so we are here for business, even if we are behind four walls, whether it's at home, whether it's within the shops. Obviously we are at home at the moment, so we are available. Please don't hesitate. You've got the numbers, you've got emails, please don't hesitate to contact us. And from me, please keep safe, Happy New Year to you all, and thank you again for taking the time out to attend the meeting. And I don't know if Sandra has anything just to finish.
No, lovely. Thank you for your time today, ladies and gentlemen, and just really, yeah, stay safe, and hopefully when our world opens, you can all enjoy these wonderful, wonderful places that I'm sure, like me, we're all really looking forward to getting back travelling. So stay safe.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Don't know what to do now.
You can do, if you're trying to get out, you just need to click end. We'll let you do that without, yeah. You okay?
Oh, Lee.
Or Dawn, you just need to click end meeting if you want, and then everybody will be taken out.